Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. Right, so the market has been giving us some really great trading opportunities in the last couple of months, especially in my trading journey. I've never seen the market give such straightforward trading opportunities. And yes, it may be straightforward to me because I've got a strategy and I've got an indicator, but it could be a number of factors. Maybe it's a bit more experience in how we now understand the wave theory clearly, and also how we have optimized the strategy with the indicator that we use to confirm reversal areas as well as exit areas. All right, so that we will see. I'm going to tie up last week's video. If you remember last week's video, we covered the theme fundamentals versus technical. Which one do we trade? And the answer to that was that we don't ignore the fundamentals, but we look at the technicals. And I'm going to continue from there with the couple of charts that will explain exactly that. So this week, guys, take this as an educational sort of webinar. I want you to look at the charts, these trade setups that I'm going to be showing you. Try to have a look at our rationale behind the analysis and how we execute the trade, because that is what is most important. And you will see that we've got timely execution, pinpointed execution. We don't look at areas, we look at pinpointed areas where we execute our trade. So that makes it easy. So there's no gray areas where we are concerned as far as our strategy is concerned. We call it a formula. It's a plug and play. You plug in the values and you get the output. So that's how we trade. All right, guys. So if you look at my screen now, you will see that that is our website. You can look at that. It's also the link you will see on our YouTube channel, as I will be sharing it shortly. So we've got a 50% off on our lifetime plan. You can take advantage of that. That means if you take the lifetime plan, you don't pay a cent for the rest of your life. All right, you will also see that you need to use that discount code. I will also put the discount code on the description of the video. All right, so just check out that discount code. We will put in an additional discount code for the 30% off on the full course. All right, so let's carry on from the theme from last week and see how the market has been playing out over the last couple of weeks, last couple of days, and how we trade. Okay, so let's get right into it. So we use Slack for our members for communication, and all the content is posted on the website for the members. So all these charts that I will be sharing with you, our members see them before the move. So let's get right into it. I've already opened those links. So let's get started with the first one here. Now, I'm looking at pound US dollar. I'm going to give you a detailed view of pound US dollar and how we have come to the point where we have. Last week we had the FOMC, we had the NFP, but all that has not done anything other than just to catalyze the market in the direction that it was supposed to move anyway, direction that we knew from a year or 2 years back. And you'll see what I mean by that. Now let's start with pound US dollar. You'll see we've got this setup here that was posted on the 22nd of April, where we were expecting pound to push up to this level and then drop. Now I'm going to zoom in the screen a bit so you can see the values as well. So what you're seeing here is the chart that was posted on the 22nd of March, as you can see. So from there, we're looking for this one to give us this structure here. Look at this structure. We were looking for this simple double XY structure here so that this can then come and drop for a lot of pips to the downside, as you will see with the next chart. So that was the setup. We were looking to buy it exactly around 133 area. So let's have a look here at how this one plays out. So let's look at the next one here. So this is how pound plays out. Remember, so this is what we had here. So that's what we had. That's our setup. We're looking for this one to come around the 133 area. If I'll show you here, as I said, there are no gray areas here. We use pinpointed entries. 133, that's where we executed. That was where our blue box was. And look how many pips we have gotten subsequent to that. That is 890 pips, painless, executed to the point, and that's that. Now, you will see that that is not the end of it. Our members get to see these charts before the moves happen. So we are expecting after the 890 pips that we are still going to have continuation to the downside. So you can either stay on the trade or you can exit and wait for a new entry. But what we are looking for here is another entry for downside. Why are we looking for downside? Because our cycle and the sequence is still telling us downside. So now look at the next chart here. So if you look at the next chart, so that is when the pullback is happening. I've shown this last week already. So that is where the pullback is happening now. Again, we pinpoint the execution to the pip. We already got the 890 pips. We're looking for more pips to the downside. So let's have a look here at how this is going to play out. All right. So let's have a look here on the next one. Right, so let's see how this plays out subsequent to that. So remember, it was 890 pips, the first trade. Now look how inch perfect that is. Inch perfect, executed to the point, another 475 pips. Now, how many pips was that? So let's have a look at the next chart. You can see total of 1,134 pips. Now, the question will be, how did we know? And to answer you simply is that we did not just know in April that this was going to drop. We knew this a couple of years back because we had the structure, and I'm going to refer you to our website. So let's go to our website so you can see where this comes from, and just stay put, guys. I'm going to give you a tip that may help you with your trading going forward. Stay put. So I'm going to give you a tip. So let's go back to the website and see where this analysis comes from. So if you look at this, before we get to the analysis, you will also see that we've got a chart of the week that you can access here on our website. So look out for it. We had the chart of the week for US dollar chief. We'll talk about more about that when we start with the analysis. So I want you to see where this comes from. So it comes from the bigger structure. So regardless of what the NFP was, the result of the NFP was, of the FOMC was, I want you to see when we saw that this was going to come down. Okay, so like I said, we don't ignore the news, but we use that to catalyze our trades. So let's have a look here on the resources. Let's go to the charts that our members have access to. Let's have a look at instruments and look at US dollar, pound US dollar. So we can see where this comes from. So let's go to US dollar pairs. So this is all the content that our members have. They have access to this, and we have daily live trading sessions with our members every single day just before the start of the London session. So we can go through these charts and how we're looking at the trade setups. Now, this is the latest chart that you're seeing there, but what I want you to look at is this. Now, this is what I want you to look at, and I want you to see also when this chart was posted. This was in March, 2 months ago. Okay, in March, 2 months ago, we were already looking for this to drop. Why? Because we've got that structure. So as you can see here, still when we were already at 130, we were looking for this one to drop for a couple of hundred pips. So that 890 pips plus the 400, we already saw that 2 months ago. So even if there was NFP or the FOMC last week, that was irrelevant because we knew that whatever happens, the technicals are telling us that this should come to the downside. Now, we have been bearish pound from around this area. Okay, now if you look at our videos from a year ago when this was still pushing up to the upside, we said that we are looking for this to be an expanding flat because we already knew that this was going to complete this wave 4 so that this can drop. Now, subsequent to that, that's how we now get all those pips to the downside. So that means any trade setup that we get to the downside, we take it. So that was pound US dollar. Now, I'm not saying now that because we have this move to the downside, go and just sell. And that is where most people get it wrong. Remember, you need to sell high and buy low. Okay, buy low, sell high. That is the principle. Now, this has already dropped over thousands, a couple of hundred of pips. Now, you don't just come and sell here. What if this starts reversing here? Even yet, it may already start reversing all the way, but you don't know that. So we use a specific indicator to trade that. So we wait for proper trading opportunities. That's why you have seen we had that 890 pips from this area, it drops, and then we get another 400 pips to the downside. Now we wait for another trading opportunities. So we still waiting for this one to continue to the downside. All right, so Now, for the tip that I want to show you, just a quick one. I'm not gonna take too long here. So we have been seeing this to be coming down for a while. Okay, so I started trading around 2010, and even when Brexit was happening, we knew that we could see what the structure was. Now here is a bit of a learning here. If you look at this structure here, anyone who is a wave trader may think that this is a 1, it's a 2 here, and everyone will expect that this will make a push to the upside. Okay, now why would you expect a push to the upside? It's natural. You can see there's the structure, it's a pulsing move, then it's a correction here. You will naturally expect this to continue to the upside. Now, I remember around this time when I was trading around 2010, that I got this completely wrong because of exactly that reason. That was before we had the indicator that will tell you that this is not ready for a reversal. This is not ready for a reversal. Okay, so Brexit gave us this opportunity here. If you remember Brexit 2016, 23, April 2016, there was this area here, and there was also another opportunity here. So if you look at Brexit, you'll see, I'm going to show you on the daily, most people were looking to buy this to just continue to the upside. But what this was telling us, we're already using the indicator that will tell us that as much as the market is looking to go up higher, we were still bearish. So I want to show you what was happening during Brexit. So this was happening during Brexit. We had this simple structure. It's a 3 waves to the upside, 3 waves back, and we're looking for this one to give us a complete corrective structure here. And the indicator was telling us that this was going to drop, and that is how we got pound US dollar. So it is not just in the last week that we've been getting this a couple of thousands of pips. It is because of the historical structure that we have. So let's continue and look at the rest of the chart. So if you look at pound US dollar being bearish, that means the DXY is strong. So let's have a look at the rest of the charts. I hope you're learning something today. All right, so let's have a look at the DXY now. So this is the DXY. Now you'll also see the DXY. We've been trading it up. We've been bullish the DXY because the US dollar has been strong. So, and the sequence in the structure was showing us exactly that. Now look at this wave 4 here. We're looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. Now, if we are bullish the DXY, that means anything that is paired against the US dollar will be bearish. If the US dollar is the base pair, that means that pair should be going down, and rather pair should be going up. And if it is the quoted pair, that means the US dollar, that pair should be going down. Okay, right, so let's have a look here. The DXY, how did we focus the DXY? We're looking for that to start completing the wave 5. I want you to note that. So we're on the yellow degree here. Look out for the red degree as we go on here. Wave 1, 2, we are currently on 3, 4. We're looking for 5 waves to the upside. Let's have a look at the next one. So that is the DXY. Look at that one here. So we were looking for this to push to the upside. But when we got to this point here, so this is the wave 4 that I was showing you in the yellow degree. Look at this one here, 1, 2, 3. That was the wave 4. That is the wave 4 that I was showing you here in detail. So this one here, you can see it's almost impulsive here. So we've already started a move to the upside from that wave 4. That is the wave 4 already, 346 points on the DXY, looking for this to continue to the upside. Now look at the next setup here, still on the DXY. So while we were here, we said the DXY should continue to the downside first before it continues to push to the upside. Now let's have a look at how this plays out. Look at that. Exactly pinpointed. This is what I'm talking about by pinpointed areas of trading. Now that is the DXY, and we expect the euro and all other pairs. So we expect the euro to be bearish. We expect the yen pairs to be bullish. As you will see, the yen pairs have been bullish as well. So that is the DXY looking for more upside. Okay, look at that, 360 points on the DXY. Right, so look at that. Eventually we push to the upside. Now, while we were selling that 475 pips for the pound, look at what was happening with the DXY. We were saying exactly the same, but inverse. We're saying the DXY should come back here and push to the upside. Look at this inch perfect trade execution. We pull to the downside and we get those additional 259 points. Okay, so that is the DXY and how we traded that eventually from around 95 to around 105. That's 920 points on the DXY. Now, what does that mean? If you know what the DXY is doing, that means you know what all the other pairs that are against the US dollar, paired against the US dollar, are doing. So for example, euro, you will simply be selling euro US dollar. Let's have a look here. That is the setup for euro US dollar. Again, you see, you saw that it was a wave 4 in the yellow degree on the DXY. In this case, it is in the minor red degree. We're looking for this one to come down. Look at that setup. So looking for that to continue to the downside. So that's the wave 4 here, dropping already there on the euro. You'll see, I'll give you another setup. So before that, that is a wave 4. We're dropping from wave 4. We're now looking into wave 5. Look at that, simple like that. So if I just zoom in here, so you can see from 149 to about 924 on euro. So that's about 500 easy pips there. So let's have a look at the next setup. So this, our members get update for update every single time. So that is where we dropped. Look at where we dropped on the wave 4. That's the red wave 4. I hope you can still see the wave 4 here. Let me just move my screen. So that is the wave 4. That was the forecasted drop. Now we get another opportunity on the euro. Look at that complex B correction there. Again, inch perfect trade execution at this area. Why? Because we know the cycle and the sequence. Okay, so let's see how that plays out. That is the euro. That is the euro. Look at that, 423 easy pips. Okay, we dropped 423 easy pips on the euro. And again, while the pound was pulling back for 475 pips, we were pulling back on the euro, and we were looking to get this to the downside as well. And look at how inch perfect that plays out. Look at that. Okay, as I said, this is an educational sort of session. I hope you're learning something from this. If you understand the sequence and the cycle, and you have got an indicator that assists you, because you cannot just trade the lines and the graphs on the screen, because you need to get an underlying indicator that tells you whether what you're analyzing is confirmed. So that is the euro, and that is how we've traded the euro. So guys, if you like our content, I'm still going to continue with the rest of the charts. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel, and you'll also find our contact details. Let me show you our contact details here on our YouTube channel. So have a look at that. Now, all these charts that I'm sharing with you guys, you can find them all on our social media pages. We use Twitter and Facebook for social media pages. You can also check us on StockTweet. So let me just show you here. So these are our contact details. If you've not already subscribed, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share the videos as well. Now look at that. So also we have timestamps. So if you're not interested in watching the whole video, just look at the timestamps. But here are our contact details, just to put you up to give you a clear picture there. So you'll see our Twitter and Facebook links are there. You can click on that, as well as our website is on there. Don't forget our special. And then there is our TradingView links, as well as our Telegram channel. All these charts that I'm sharing with you here, you can find on our social media pages. You can follow us there, and there's a contact number that you can use if you've got any inquiries. Just look out for the discount code. It will be under the description of the video as well. Now let's carry on with the theme here on our charts. I'm going to give you a summary rundown when we're done with this. So that was euro US dollar, and that was the move that we've got on our euro US dollar, 1,080 pips in just the last 2 months to the downside. So that is euro, and that is how we've executed those trades. Now here is CAD. So look at CAD. So as I said, if we are bullish the DXY, that means US dollar CAD, because the US dollar will be the base here, we'll be expecting this to push to the upside. Look at how we pinpoint this. We're expecting this to come down and push to the upside. And look at the update that our members get. So the first one was we get to this area. We are anticipating the market. We don't chase the market. We anticipate the market to come into the blue box and then reverse. Look at that, inch perfect. We get into the blue box. Our members take the trades, and we are already 260 pips to the upside. As you can see with this, we're still expecting more upside. Why? Because the sequence is telling us that. Look at that. We get another 185 pips on US dollar CAD, and eventually that is 607 pips forecasted on US dollar CAD. Okay. Now all this, you can look at this analysis on our previous videos. You just have to go and click on the timestamp of the pair that you are interested in. So US dollar yen, we've got the US dollar as the base pair. What does that mean? You already know that the DXY is pushing to the upside. It is bullish. Now, any pair that has got the US dollar as the base, you'll expect it to push to the upside. Look at US dollar yen. These were free pips, straightforward pips on the yen pair. Have a look at US dollar yen. US dollar yen 568 pips. So from this, so that was the forecast here. If we look at that, that was around 116, and eventually we got to 122 pips, easy 568 pips, because you knew that the DXY was bullish, and this is how it has played out. Now look at this one. This one would have got a lot of people off guard. Look at how impulsive this looks. Anybody could think, I will not blame anybody who thinks that this is going to continue to the downside if you do not use our strategy. But because we work with cycles and sequences, we know when a cycle is complete and when it's not. And in this case, our indicator was showing us that the cycle is not complete and we need to get a blue box and we need to get more upside there. Look at this one here. We get this one here and another 532 pips. Remember 568 first, we pull back, we get another 532 pips. What does that give you? It gives you almost 100 and almost 1,000 pips on US dollar yen. Okay, so look at that. So that was another opportunity. So you've got 568 first, you've got another 400 and something pips. Here it's giving us another opportunity. Remember pound US dollar for that additional 475, we were here. So this is exactly the same on the US dollar. We're looking for this one to continue to push to the upside. And look at how this one plays out. Another free pip. 423 pips. So it was 560 something, now 433. Let's just go through it again in sequence. So the first one was, let's have a look here. It was, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. 568 plus, look at that. That's the next setup. And then we get to another 532. That's 1,100 pips already. And then you get another opportunity. You get another 433 pips, almost 1,500 pips in just one single pair. Look at this one here. We're now looking for this one to pull back, and we'll run down with the summary for that. So that is US dollar yen, and now we're looking at the yen pairs. We are anticipating that we may be at an area where we start reversing now. Okay, now we could be in for a couple of thousand pips in the opposite direction, but we wait for confirmation. All right, so that was US dollar yen, and as you can see, the total number of pips from that initial setup, look at that, from here, from this wave 2 in blue degree, 1,500 pips from March in until May. Okay, so that's what we got there in just one single pair. So you can do the addition of the number of pips that we've made. Now let's have a look at gold. Gold, I'm going to give you a bit more detail just to show you how we forecasted this a couple of months back and how we eventually got this. Now, gold hit as much as 2,000 pips. I should have actually started this chart here by showing you how we were here and we wanted it to come to 1,999 when we pinpointed that number, and on that day we actually mentioned that we need 1,999 before the drop on gold, and indeed we did get a 733 points drop on gold. So from 2,000 to 929, that is a $73 drop on gold. So we were still anticipating that this will continue to the downside, and our members got that before the moves, and as you can see, we eventually got all of that to the downside. So from 2,000 to 1,800, that is a whole $200 drop on gold. Okay, so $198 to be exact drop on gold, or 1,989 points there. So that is gold, and that's how we looked at it. So for the commodities, if gold is dropping, you'd expect silver to drop, obviously. So look at that one here. Look at this here, pinpointed to the pip. So that's how we got that. So you can see the accuracy of this analysis. Look at that silver and look at how it plays out. Inch perfect, 3-wave pullback, and then the drop there. Right, so that's what you have on silver, and you'll anticipate that all the hard metals will be doing the same thing. Look at this one here. This is platinum. We said platinum should push to the upside and then drop again as well. So look at how this one plays out. It pushes to the upside and we drop 267 points, or $26 on platinum. Already a drop on platinum. That is a significant move there. Now let's look at the indices. Now the Elliott wave theory, you can apply it in any market, whether it's the cryptocurrency, whether it's the stock market, and you will see, I'll give you one chart on the stocks here. You can use this theory in any market. And a good example, we're always analyzing the indices. Look at how perfect this one is and how we update our members each and every step of the correction here. So we already had this push to the upside. We're looking at this one to be a wave 4 and starting the wave 5 to the upside. Look at how this one plays out. The wave 2 plays out, but we know that our wave 2 is not complete because we understand the cycle and the sequence. We are not just going to buy it here. We want it to give us another move to the downside. How do we know this? How do we know that we're still going to have another double correction before we make a move to the upside? Look at how the UK100 plays out. And this may be a tip for you guys. This may be our chart of the week. So look out for that because we are now in the blue box. If you trade the UK100, this may be a chart for you to trade in the next week. Watch there when we do the analysis next week. You may find this one already around this area. Okay, so that is the UK100. So the market, the wave theory is applicable in any market. And this is now a stock market chart. This is Amazon. Now, Amazon is one of the largest stocks by market cap. This is fourth largest stock in the S&P 500 by market cap. That is Amazon. Look at the analysis using wave theory. So look at that structure. That is 3, wave 4 in Y degree. And we know that this has ended the wave 5 here. So one, we're seeing that this is going to give us a deeper corrective structure. This is on the S&P 500. You know our analysis on the S&P 500. We were looking for a reversal, so it is only natural that Amazon, being one of the largest stocks in the S&P 500, will have an influence on that. So look at this. We were looking for this one to give us a 3-wave corrective structure here. So let's have a look at how Amazon plays out and how we forecasted that. Look at that inch perfect. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see here we're focusing that we were going to have a move first to the upside and then that drop. Okay, more of the on the S&P 500 when we start with the indices shortly, and that is how we have been analyzing. Okay, so that's what we have there, and that's what I wanted to show you on how we analyze, how we execute, and if you've taken something home here, you should be able to trade. Or if you're still struggling, you can join us. And the advantage of joining us is that you don't just attend the course, you stay with us for a period of a minimum of 1 year. We trade together live daily during the London session, and all our charts are updated twice as well. And you also have the daily live video for different charts. Okay, so just to give you a recap, I'm not going to go through everything here. I'm just going to give you a rundown of what we're expecting here into the new week. Okay, I've already given you a rundown of what we saw in the last week and how the market has played out. Okay, so those who are interested in the course, so the course is available in recordings on the website immediately when you purchase it. And we have got the live course in June. So just to give you the exact date, it's going to be on the 11th of June. All right, the 11th of June, we start with our our live 10-day course. So you spend 10 days with me. We go through the basics up until the advanced principles so that you can understand how we look at the market. So we spent that 10 days together. You can ask as many questions as you want. So you get the recorded section, you watch it. So whichever section that you're not clear with, you can ask during the course. So sorry, just to get the clear date there, let me give you the clear date in June, 13th of June. So the second week of June, guys, sorry. Second week of June, that is the 13th to be exact. The course starts, and it starts at 1800 GMT. Okay, 1800 GMT. We run for about 3 to 4 hours daily for 10 days. So we start with 5 days of theory and 5 days of practical application of the theory. All right, let's go through the rundown. So you've already seen the DXY. So let me just show you where the DXY analysis comes from again, so we can get the perspective of what we're expecting going into the new week. All right, so let's have a look at the DXY. So this gives you direction for the rest of the market. So let's have a look at what the DXY is doing. So you've seen the DXY and why we've been bullish the DXY. So this is a daily chart, this is a weekly chart. So on the DXY, we have been bullish because of this, right? So we have been bullish the DXY because of that. We're looking for that to push as high as that level. So that is our chart on the weekly, all right? So that is that on the DXY. We're already approaching this area. We may be close to a reversal area. Let's have a look here at the bit more detail. All right, so let's have a look on the daily. So this is what we have. So on the daily, you'll see that we've been looking for this structure in the blue degree to give us 1, 2, 3. I'm giving you a bit more detail here. We're already around this area. Let me just make sure here. We're already around 104. We've already pushed this much, and we're looking for this one to come towards the end there. Okay, so let's see here. Are we starting to get a pullback? Even if we do get the pullback, we still anticipate that the DXY can go as much as 110. Now, let's have a look here in the lower degree on the 4 hour, giving you a bit more detail here. So look at that. So this is the DXY. So we are currently in the last end here on the 4 hour. And we're looking for this wave 3, 4 in the yellow degree to complete the wave 5. Only then will we get that pullback in this white A degree. I hope you can see that. Okay, we are bullish. The DXY, we're still expecting that to continue to push to the upside. Let's have a look here. Now, if you remember, I did mention that our chart of the week, you would have gotten, let's go to our chart of the week. If you just come to our website and you access our chart of the week, it was US dollar chief, you would have gotten easy 170 pips by just looking at our free chart of the week on our website. Okay, because we have been bullish the DXY, we are still bullish the DXY. Let's see what we anticipate going into the new week here in the lower degree 4 hour on the DXY. There we go. So this was our chart of the week, US dollar chief. Look at that analysis there. We focused it at 98.84. So from there, US dollar chief has subsequently went on and got about, let's have a look here. It was on the 1 hour. It's about 170 easy pips that you'd have gotten if you saw that one here. That's because we've been bullish the DXY. So this is where we've got the US dollar chief. Look at that, easy pips there. You would have gotten that for free. Easy 160, 170 pips on US dollar chief. What do we anticipate? We're anticipating that this is going to still give us a pullback. We're still going to see a bit of a continuation to the upside. Similarly, on the DXY, we're going to see a bit of a continuation to the upside that is now giving us a bit of a pullback. Euro, we're still anticipating that this was going to continue to the downside as well. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to go into much detail. You've seen that we are bearish, so we're still looking for continuation to the downside. Pound US dollar, is it ready for a reversal? So let's have a look here. Maybe also one more down here. So we wait for confirmation if we're going to get the reversal. So that is the structure on the US dollar pairs. I'm not going to go through all of them. You've already seen the rationale. We are all bullish, still bullish the US dollar, and we still anticipate that the US dollar will continue to the upside, and we're going to get now pullbacks on the DXY. Even if we're getting the pullback, so we're just anticipating that we're going to get a pullback and continuation to the upside here on US dollar CAD. US dollar chief, you've already seen this one. It was our chart of the week. Let's have a look here at AUD US dollar. AUD US dollar, are we done? Are we ready for a reversal? Not yet. So what we're seeing here on the 1 hour is basically just 1, 2, 3. We should see continuation to the downside on AUD US dollar. Similarly, the New Zealand will be exactly like that as well. So we're getting what looks like a 3-wave pullback here, and we're still going to get continuation to the downside, whether it's the last one here to the downside before we get a deeper one. So let's watch this one into the next week. Okay, that is New Zealand US dollar. US dollar ZAR has been trailing US dollar CAD. We know that the US dollar ZAR and US dollar CAD are correlated. Now, if you look at that structure that we focused it on US dollar ZAR over the last couple of days, inch perfect structure, look at that one here, 3 waves down, pull back, and another 3 waves to the downside. We are now pushing to the upside. But what's interesting here is that US dollar ZAR has made 5 waves to the upside. Is the 5th wave down here? We're going to get a pullback. We need to see this push a little bit higher before we get the pullback. So that is the theme for all the pairs, a little bit higher before we get the pullbacks. So the DXY a little bit higher before we get the pullback, Euro a little bit lower before we get the pullback. Pound yen. All right, so pound yen. You just have to go look at the previous video to see why what we said about the yen pairs last week. The yen pairs, I went on all of them. Go to that video, look at all the yen pairs. I went onto the weekly chart and I said that anticipate that you may be getting reversals. Okay, you can start selling for short term, even though we don't have the confirmation as yet. Let me just show you here one weekly chart on pound yen, what I showed you last week and how it's starting to play out. Okay, look at that. So we are very likely that this has ended and we're going to start seeing this. This is not confirmed as yet. So setups that we're going to start getting here, as soon as our indicator confirms, we're going to get a couple of hundred of pips to the downside. Now, like I said, anybody can focus the market the way I'm doing right now, but where do you execute? We don't even trade on the weekly chart. This is just to give you direction, but we've got pinpointed areas in the lower degrees where we take our trades. Now, this is pound yen, and let's have a look at and see how this plays out. There's a very strong divergence on the RSI. Okay, guys, this is not the indicator. Every time I open this, people think that's the indicator I'm talking about. That is not the indicator strategy. So this is just showing you divergence on the RSI, on the momentum indicator, the RSI. Now, this is showing us that we are likely to start the reversal. Now, as far as confirmation of reversal, as far as execution of the trade, that is where we use our indicator to tell us, or we confirm with that indicator. So with that, so let's wait and see what we get here. Are we starting with a move to the downside here on the pound? Or we're gonna pull back. So far it has made a three-wave pullback. So let's see here. So you've got a three-wave pullback here on pound. 1, 2, 3. Likely you can get a three-wave pullback before we start getting that drop. But let's see how this one behaves around current area. So that is pound yen. All right, to US dollar yen, you've seen how this one is also pushed to the upside. So let's just have a look here at US dollar yen. US dollar yen also making what looks like a three-wave structure. So because the DXY may still push to the upside, we expect this one to also push to the upside in the coming week before we get the deeper correction. The higher degree structure is showing us that we are close to a deeper pullback as far as US dollar is concerned. So we may still push to the upside in the next week as well. So the euro, again, I refer you to the video from last week. It looks like we're starting a bigger reversal. I've shown you the weekly chart, anticipating that the euro may start the reversal, and it is simply because of this structure on the weekly. Okay, so this is where we may be starting with the sell setups here on the euro, and for many pips to the downside. Okay, very clear structure here on the euro, so you may get something like this. I've shown this last week as well, and we may be looking for this here in the lower degree. So what is the lower degree showing us? Let's go to the 4-hour and see that. Okay, so we have got a three-wave pullback so far. Is this a blue box for a continuation to the upside? It's possible. We can still get one more up before we come down. So let's see what we're getting here with the yen pairs. We've got our pullbacks. Let's see if we're going to get those pullbacks playing out before we get that reversal. Okay, chief yen, exactly the same thing that we said, that this may be close to a reversal. We've now made a 1, 2, 3 wave structure, which may be a blue box for one more up before we drop. So one more up here is possible before we drop. Maybe even just retest this level here and then we drop. So the yen pairs may be starting their reversal. Okay, last week I said expect that the AUD yen will break through here. You can watch that video last week. Go click on AUDUSD, exactly this, and we said it's going to come down here. So you see, just watching the videos also just gives you these free pips if you apply what we advise here. Okay, and whatever we give you is not deemed to be financial advice, so you take this at your own risk. All right, so this is what we're looking at here, a pullback, and we're looking for this one. It has already done that. Is this a three-wave blue box that is going to give us one more up before we get the reversal? Then we are waiting for that confirmation into the new week. Similarly, New Zealand, we said the same thing. It was here last week. We said it's going to drop. We got the drop. Is it going to give us a one more up, or is it just going to give us a pullback and the drop? Let's wait and see that. We'll update that during the week for members. Now, CAD yen is more telling. It's showing us that we've got a three-wave structure here, which may give us one more up before we get that reversal or a deeper pullback. So the yen pairs are pretty straightforward, as you can see. All right, so let's have a look here at the rest. So we've done the yen pairs. You've seen commodities, gold. Why is gold dropping? Just go look at the previous videos. If gold is dropping, we have said that gold is going to drop for a couple of months now. So if you remember gold, just to give you a bit of history and background, so gold has made 1, 2, 3. Initially we said gold after the 3 wave may continue to push to the upside. Okay, it did not do that. What has happened? It went and did a 3-wave structure and made a move to the upside. Okay, so even when it made this move to the upside, that's when we said, okay, gold is going to give us a complex correction here, and we're going to see a more downside. So that's why when this happened here, we had the move to the upside, we had the move to the upside here, giving us a 3-wave structure. That's where we got that setup for gold here. Okay, at 1,999 we got our gold setup, and we are currently here, and we still anticipate that gold may even go lower to around these levels, around 1810. Okay, we're actually at 1810. At this point, we may push slightly lower, pull back, and continue to the downside before we get that move. Now, remember what I said here. We were anticipating that gold will give us a 3-wave structure and go. Does that mean we were wrong? We were not wrong. It simply means that instead of a simple zigzag correction, gold has gone and made a complex flat correction here. And even when it needs to come down to this level here and make a push to the upside. The cycle and the sequence is still as forecasted from 2021 when we were here. Okay, so cycles and sequences, that's what we're trading here with the wave theory. So what is anticipation into the next week? A bit of a drop, pullback, and continuation to the downside. That is gold. Silver, you've seen the setup on silver. It's just like gold. We're anticipating that this one will give us a little bit more downside here. So let's see here, we're going to get a bit more downside, possibly to around 18 area. The structure, as you can see here on silver, we've made a 3-wave structure, pinpointed it right here. Okay, pinpointed it right there, and then we're still dropping on silver. Platinum, you've seen the recap as well. We're still bearish platinum. Simple. Platinum is actually very simple. Look at that. A 5-wave down, pull back here. We're simply anticipating that we're going to have another 5 waves to the downside, possibly to around this area. Let's see how that plays out on platinum. Brent crude oil is making an interesting structure, which looks like a triangle. Is it going to make a triangle? So if it makes a triangle, that means this is not done as yet. So we may see Brent crude oil complete this triangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, drop for 1 before we push to the upside. So on the daily, we'll wait for this one to complete, but otherwise we are very bullish Brent crude oil, even if it is just for another leg to around 140, 150 on Brent crude oil. Okay, but we are at a critical area where we may start seeing the reversal. That triangle may just be for one more leg to the upside as far as Brent crude oil is concerned. Right, so the yen, the pound pairs, let's have a look here. So pound pairs, we are looking at this one to be giving us a 1, 2, maybe a bit of a push here, and continuation to the downside. We're still going to be bearish here on pound AUD. All right, so that's what we have there on the 4-hour. If we just show you the 4-hour, we may start the drop there on pound AUD. Okay, watch out for pound AUD for this structure to start playing out. We'll wait for that confirmation for this to do that. Okay, so that is pound AUD. For those that are interested in the crypto webinar, just stay put. Immediately after this, we'll do the crypto webinar, or you can just watch it on on our YouTube channel. The video will be available there as well. Pound New Zealand, I showed you how we forecasted this move here from around 886 to 1.96. That is a 1,000 pip move. Now, is that the end of the move? So it looks like it could be the end of the move, where we can have this one making 1, 2, bit of a push to the upside before we drop. We may even retest the 2 area here on the pound New Zealand. So let's keep an eye on that one. Let's see what happens here. We may be getting again to this level to complete that structure. So let's watch and see. All right, pound CAD has been bearish. No sign of a reversal as yet. Still looking for this one to continue to the downside. So, but you need to look at the weekly chart on this one to see that this may be at the end of the move. Look at that. That structure is beautiful. Okay, for us who understand what is going on there. So that is a move to the upside. That is a move down. 1, 2, 3, and we could be starting the reversal there, and we get this one pushing lower here and a move back to around these levels to complete this structure. Okay, again, we need that indicator to confirm whether this is the end of the move or we're going to continue to the downside. Remember what I showed you with pound in 2015, the move that we got wrong because we didn't have an indicator then. Okay, so exactly the same. You need to confirm this with an indicator. You don't just go look at the structure and trade it like that. Right, pound chief may still give us one more down. Let's just have a look at the structure, a possible structure here. If I just give you a possible structure here on the weekly, so pound chief will give us one more down before we push to the upside. Look at this one here, 1, 2, 3. It's a possibility that we get one more down before we push to the upside. So we can get this one here, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back before we push to the upside. Let's go to the lower degree here on pound chief. Okay, for our all right, so 4 hour, so you can see that. So this may just complete the current structure here. So we may complete this structure here. We make a move to the downside for now. So we'll complete the whole structure as it plays out. So for now, just look out for this one to get around this area before it comes down again. So we'll be looking out for that on pound chief. Right, let's have a look at euro pound. Euro pound has also made an interesting structure here with this 1, 2, 3 waves, and we may be starting a move to the downside. So watch out for this confirmation here. We're actually coming from the blue box area here on euro pound. So let's watch this one for an opportunity for more downside. Okay, so that is euro pound. Let's have a look at the rest of the euro pairs. Euro AUD. Okay, euro AUD has made a nice 3-wave pullback, could be ready here for a bit of a push to the upside here before the drop here. So that is euro AUD, still bearish. It has pulled back in 3 waves, similar to New Zealand, has also made an expanding flat here in 3 waves. Could it be the time now for it to continue to the downside? Very likely that we start seeing the reversals around these areas on euro New Zealand as well. EURCAD, pound CAD have been bearish in any case, and you would have seen this last week with this 3-wave pullback that this was still going to continue to the downside with that. So we are still bearish EURCAD. No new trade there on EURCAD. Right, EURGBP also has made 1, 2, 3 waves. Is this the end of the corrective structure? Should we start getting in a trade setup around this area? Could be a very nice one for this week here. So let's watch it. We could have already reached the blue box here. We'll just confirm that. So if you are from the blue box, this could be coming down now. Looking at the crosses. So the crosses the New Zealand is still bullish. So what is happening here is we've got a complex B correction here with 1, 2, 3. We're still going to see AUD New Zealand continue to push to the upside. All right, so that is AUD New Zealand. And the next one is AUDCAD, that which is also bearish, as you've seen with the rest of the pairs that have got CAD in them, except for US dollar CAD. This one gave this opportunity last week. We are still continuing with this drop. So any pullback here, still bearish here for AUDCAD. All right, let's have a look. AUDCHF, even though we may see a bit of upside here, we can get to this level, make another one down here before we go. So this is what I'm looking at here, 1, 2, 3 down, and we get this one as 1, 2, 3 here in the yellow degree. So for now, just focus on getting this move here to around this level on AUDCHF. Okay, another alternative is that this is complete and we are ready to go from here. Okay, so if you trade that pair, just watch out for that. All right, AUD New Zealand CAD. I'm not even going to look at pairs with the New Zealand CAD because they don't have new trading opportunity in them. Okay, now the next one that has got a potential for a move to the upside is New Zealand CHF. Look at New Zealand CHF. Very likely that with this has completed its 3-wave move and we start seeing a move to the upside, and we've got a blue box area here, so we could be starting to see a move to the upside on New Zealand CHF. CADJPY also has pushed to the upside. I mean, there's nothing more to talk about the CAD. It has been strong for the last couple of months. All right, so let's have a look here. If I just switch this off here, so you'll see here, we made the 3 waves. We made the 3 waves, and it looks like we're going to get another 3 waves here. Okay, so let me just clean this one up here, show it in 3, so you can see what we're expecting. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. We'll anticipate that we're going to have a pullback around this area as on CADJPY. That's all on the Forex and commodity pairs. Let's have a look at the indices. just a quick summary. You've already seen Amazon, the stock that we've shared with you, Amazon having an influence on the S&P 500 as long as the other big tech stocks as well. So the S&P 500 I've shown with a comparison between the Dow Jones Industrial Average as well as the Dow Jones Transportation Average, how we forecasted this reversal. So this one here, you'll see here on the S&P 500 that there was strong divergence when we were here, okay? Very strong divergence between these two areas. It was actually on the Dow Jones Industrial and as well as the Dow Jones Transportation. I'm not going to do that comparison again. I've shown it for the last 4 weeks, showing why we anticipate that this S&P 500 is going to give us this three-wave structure, which has now happened. Now the question is, are we in the blue box? Are we going to start seeing the reversal on the S&P 500? Looks like we are in the blue box, and we may see the S&P 500 having completed that structure, and we start seeing a move to the upside. So that's what we're going to be anticipating in the coming weeks. So watch out for that on the S&P 500. This is the Dow Jones Industrial, by the way, but the S&P 500 has a similar structure where this is a 1, 2, 3 as well, and looking like it is in the blue box area as well. And we'll be looking for this one to come around here. We'll just project and confirm that this is actually the area, but it looks like our blue box. And then we're going to be anticipating a reversal around that area. Transportation, the same, except for a bit of a difference in structure. This is a 1, 2, 3. We'll be looking for this one to push to the upside together with the rest of the indices. So let's keep an eye on that. The NASDAQ has made a three-wave structure, as we have been detailing, that is going to give us a clear A, B, C structure. We are now at the C area. Is it time for now the NASDAQ to start pushing to the upside? We wait for that confirmation in the coming week. All right, the UK100, you've already seen what we're anticipating, and I said you may get here a setup for a trade of the week on this one. Look out for this one, could be a trade of the week. All right, that is the UK100. The DAX as well could be a trade of the week. Watch out for this one. We'll decide which one we're going to post as our trade of the week. Don't miss it, guys. These are free trade setups that you'll find on our website. Okay, so this is the DAX. If we're posting it there, that means it's a high probable trade. Okay, the DXY, very likely that it's going to start pushing to the upside. I'm on the daily chart there. The Nikkei, if you look at the Nikkei, also likely that it has already made its pullback, and we may be ready for a leg higher. Could be at the blue box, and it could be starting a move to the upside. Okay, so a number of trading opportunities there on the indices as well, so we'll look out for those. And lastly, the Nifty is the only one that is not showing us any signs of reversal. So the Nifty, even if we do see this one continue down here, we must just see a pullback here before any reversal. So the Nifty is not showing any signs of reversal. All right, guys, so that's all that I wanted to show you this week. If you like our content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Give us hit that bell notification button so you get an alert the next time we upload a video. And don't forget to check that discount code on the description of the video as well as on the website to get access to the course special. The course starts on the 13th of June. Trade responsibly. I will see you again next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.